Published in 1843, A Christmas Carol is Charles Dickens' novella about the redemption of Ebenezer Scrooge. Scrooge, a miserable, greedy moneylender, owns the company Scrooge and Marley's. His former partner Jacob Marley has been dead 7 years at the beginning of the novella. Dickens presents Scrooge to be a heartless, individualistic man through his many selfish actions, mistreating his clerk Bob Cratchit, insulting his nephew Fred, and suggesting that the poor should be sent to workhouses and prisons are just a few examples. One day, however, he is visited by the ghost of his former partner Jacob Marley, who is wrapped in chains and who warns him of the consequences of his actions. He will be condemned to walk the earth for eternity in a similar fashion to his old partner unless he changes his ways. At first, Scrooge is in denial, but soon enough he becomes terrified. Marley's ghost tells him to expect visits from 3 more ghosts. First comes the ghost of Christmas past, a young but old-looking thing with a light shining from his head. The ghost takes Scrooge to relive various scenes from his childhood, his lonely days as a neglected child at boarding school, his former employment under cheerful boss Fezziwig, his breakup with his former fiancée, Belle. Then comes the ghost of Christmas present, a jolly-looking man who could be seen as a representation of Santa Claus. He takes Scrooge to the house of the Cratchit family, where he sees the poor but loving environment of his clerk's home. Here he witnesses poverty and the plight of his employee and his disabled son, Tiny Tim. He is also taken to the dinner party of his nephew Fred, and while witnessing the happiness they experience while playing various games, he finds himself immersed in the scene, begging the ghost to allow him to stay longer. Scrooge is clearly beginning to change. Finally comes along the ghost of Christmas yet to come, who shows him an array of much more depressing scenes related to death. These include vagabonds selling items they stole from a dead man's body, a husband and wife expressing their relief at this man's death, and the Cratchits grieving about another death, that of Tiny Tim. Finally, Scrooge is taken to see his own gravestone and realizes that it was his item stolen by the vagabonds, and his death that caused the relief of the man and woman. He begs the ghost to tell him that his future would be different if he promises to change his ways. At the end of the story, Scrooge wakes up on Christmas Day and realizes that he now has a second chance to alter his future. He is excited and his heart is set on living differently. He embraces Christmas, gives his clerk a pay rise and sends him the biggest turkey he can find and goes to celebrate with his nephew. For more videos helping you with both English language and literature, subscribe to the channel.